Hi, my name is Steve Schwetz and I'm the founder of Mesa Properties. And I wanted to make this video just as a follow-up close to the year 2024 to reflect on some of the things that we see in the market as well as some trends that we're seeing for the future. So first of all, if you look back on 2024, if I had one word to put on that from a rental standpoint, I would say it's stability. And that is, we haven't seen the rent increases that we've seen earlier in the last 4 or 5 years in 2024. And part of that is just because there's more inventory on the market. We've had owners, as interest rates have gone up, unable to sell their properties at the price that they'd like to get, so instead they turn that into a rental. So that has resulted in greater competition of available rentals, and that tends to have a cooling effect on price increases. Also, it means that tenants have more selection to look for. So your home needs to either be priced appropriately. Really, in any market, it needs to be priced appropriately. But if it's not fixed up, if it hasn't been recently rehabbed, you need to be able to rent that property potentially at a little bit under market rent. Otherwise, if you've got it fixed up and you're top of the market, you can be a little bit more competitive on your pricing. We're also seeing, because of those increased inventory, longer vacancy times. So the expectation of being able to rent your property within 30 days of that property becoming vacant, although it often does still happen, sometimes that property is going to sit. Again, especially if it's priced either at market or certainly above market, you're going to have a harder time placing a tenant in a timely basis. Now, a little bit on the year-end statistics that we take a look at. We have screened over 1,900 applicants. We've processed over 7,000 work orders, and we've collected over $32 million in rent. Now, those are numbers that we look at internally, but the number that we're really most proud of and that we like to tell our owners about is over 99%. Think about that. 99% of the tenants that we place pay their rent in full in the month in which it's due. And that's a number that we watch very closely, and we're very proud of our continued success in that area. Now, it's no secret that the rental laws and the ever-changing legal landscape for landlords is difficult in California. And we just want you to know that we are on top of all of those laws. Some of the laws that were implemented or passed in 2023, implemented in 24, and now some that are passed in 24 and implemented into 2025 impact the way you manage property. For instance, AB 12 says that you are limited on how much you can charge in a security deposit, whether it's 1 month's rent or 2 months' rent. Some property managers have just decided, you know what, it's too complex. We're just going to go to a single month's rent as the maximum amount that we can charge. And that's not what the law says. And I just want you to know that we're on top of the nuances of that. And if it is possible, and if the tenant is required to get 2 months of rent in their security deposit and it's legal, we're going to go after that. So just know that. Also, SB 567 is another one. It updates some of the existing rent control laws that AB 1482 passed. We're on top of all of those. AB 2801 is one that's going to be coming into 25, which is going to have stricter rules around security deposits, taking pictures, and having more documentation on when you do a tenant disposition. And we've been doing that for years, and now the law has finally caught up to that. So we're going to continue doing the same thing we've always done in the past. Now, on the positive side of the legislative docket, we are all very happy that Prop 33 ended up getting defeated. For those of you that don't remember that, that was the ability, if Prop 33 had passed, for every single city to pass their own complex and different rent control laws. And if you have an extremely liberal council on a particular city, you're going to get extremely restrictive rent control laws. Unfortunately, that didn't pass, and it failed by a big margin. 60% of California voters voted that down. So looking forward into 2025, we certainly don't know what the future holds. But historically speaking, real estate, particularly real estate in California, has been a good investment over the long haul if you're willing to hold it long enough. I'm still a landlord myself in California, and I have no plans to change that in the near future. Now, I, like you, have seen increases in property taxes, difficulty getting insurance, and increase in maintenance costs. But still, we're also seeing solid and steadily increasing rents that compensate for that. And the reality is supply is still constrained in the state of California. And so demand is still going to be there regardless of what the market does in terms of the economy in general. So we're very bullish long term on buying and holding residential real estate in the state of California. And I hope you are as well. So as we move into 2025, our commitment remains the same. We're going to provide the resources, the expertise, and the services that are going to make it as easy as possible for you to own rental property in California. So thank you. You are a valuable part of the Mesa operation, and we appreciate you being with us in 2024 and look forward to continuing into 2025.